Hello there, Ray here, and I'm back with another amazing flying machine. This is an infinite railway bridge builder. With this single flying machine, you can AFK with one player and produce this cobble bridge as well as power rails that stay powered, allowing you to make an entire railway just with one pass of this machine. If you've seen the episode where we built the lightning farm on Prototype, we used a modified version of this machine here, placed down tons of cobble as well as placing rails on top of them while all being AFK. This allowed us to make the large amount of trunk grids that we needed to use the lightning farm. The flying machine is a combination of the previous flying machine that Pingu and I designed, which allows us to easily make these cobble walkways, and also a combination of our rail duper. Having these two machines put together and having it operated by a single player wasn't easy, but we managed to do it, and this allowed us to make a cobble as well as placing rails, keeping them powered as well. Thanks to Pingu for helping me with the previous design as well as the early stages of this design, and after I got this thing working, thanks to ZeroX for helping me compact it down to the size that you see here, as it is pretty small for what it does. Both of those guys are really good slime stoners, and you can check out their channels down in the description, as well as all the other project members and the previous designs that we made of this. The way that you would operate this is that you would hop in this minecart here, then face this trapdoor just like so, and then you put the rails in your offhand, and then you have a lava bucket in your main hand. And what you do is you aim at this rail right here, then you just hold down right click, and then what will happen is the lava will be placed above it, and then it will update this observer over to the side, and that will cause the machine to move forward. When the machine moves forward, it's going to first move this redstone block in front of this trapdoor that you're aiming at to allow you to then have the ability to place what's in your offhand. Since your bucket is already empty, there's nothing it can do with it, then it allows you to place that rail over onto the trapdoor, which is then turned upright, which allows you to click on it and you'll place the block off to the side. So you see the rail ends up to the side. Now the lava will run over and touch some water, but making cobble and also update the observer, allowing the machine to move forward. The lava source itself will stay in place. The machine ends up pushing you directly in the face of the lava. This will allow it so that your player's bucket, as well as line of sight, will be directly aimed at the source. Having the right click button held down will allow you to pick up the lava source and then place it in front. As soon as the player moves forward, click on the trapdoor again with it. The rails that the player is placing down is supplied by a rail duper on the side. This allows you to restock the rails that you have in your offhand. With this nifty combination, as well as a fly machine, it allows you to make an infinite railway bridge builder. There's a few different ways that you can go AFK and have your mouse button held down. You can tape down your mouse button, you can move your mouse button over into your controls, and then have it be something like a spacebar and then put a weight on it. Or you can use the F11 trick to get your mouse stuck button held down. Or you can hold it down and then unplug your mouse. All of these work in 1.13, although you need to keep your mouse on the screen. The way that the water is moved forward is that there is an armor stand that has Frostwalk and enchanted boots on him. He's inside of a block, and when the machine moves forward, he will slide across and this will freeze this. Then the machine will later then push this block as well as the frosted ice forward, and then it will turn back into water. This way we can move it 1 meter at a time. The rail duping is happening back in here. There's just a rail duper here. This one's set up for 1.12. And then what happens as it moves forward, it duplicates rails. It's going to be within range of the player AFKing here. And he will always be able to pick up duplicated rail, and then he can place it down. The player itself is sitting inside of a minecart. That way he doesn't get disconnected from the server. And he doesn't clip through any of the blocks or misplace some of the blocks he's trying to place down. This keeps him safe that way. We also took measures to prevent the liquids from flowing outwards and creating a mess. So with this water here, when it flows, it'll be held in right in here. And same goes for the lava. So if we place lava here, lava is going to come over and is eventually going to touch this water, creating cobble, but is also going to touch this. Any leftover lava you'll see will get removed. When the machine moves forward, it'll just all dissipate. And you can see if the player doesn't move the lava, the machine will continue to destroy it until the lava is completely removed. What happens is the source will run back into this piece and get destroyed by this block here. We also have this piston here, which is pulling this block along. And what this is doing is when the lava is over here, there's a chance of it being ticked in 1.12, in which way it would be able for it to possibly flow over in this direction. When it's in this case here, it could flow over and destroy some of the rails. And because of that, we have this block here. There was quite a few challenges that came with this build, as we had to try to keep the water contained, as well as prevent the rail after it is being duplicated from glitching through the sides and falling out, making sure that's also within range for the player to pick up. And also over here, what we have is a trapdoor that is being butted. Pretty much what happens is a redstone block comes in here, powers it, then the trapdoor is moved forward, causing it to be butted, which it doesn't update its state. Then we have these observers sitting over here, which come in later and update it, so it goes back down again. otherwise you would end up placing the lava in the wrong spot. I tested this flying machine in single player. It works great, allowing the player to place down the lava as well as the rails in the right location and never misses any rails. I also tested this in our creative server and also never had it mess up. But in our multiplayer survival server, there is chances that it will misplace the rails and it will just skip them. And this has to do with a lot of stuff going on in the server, and the server will sometimes skip the part where the player should be placing the rail, in which case the player will just miss the rail or he'll accidentally place the lava where he's supposed to place the rails. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're doing a single player, you don't really have too much to worry about, but something like a multiplayer server where there's a lot of stuff going on, it's possible for the server to kind of forget what you're doing and end up missing some of the stuff. This flying machine automatically powers the power rails, and this is done by butting them. What is happening here is that you can see that if updated, all of them will turn off. What you first want to do is place down a power source at the very end. So I just put down a lever down here. And then what the machine is doing is that it's finding the last source and then just adding onto it. So if I add onto here, then if I place a block here and I remove this one, and then I can just keep working at this. So if I would place like a block here and place one here, I can remove these two, and you can see that now in the center here, these rails are butted as there is no power source near them. But if they would be updated, they would turn off. So the cool thing about this is that you can go infinite distance while having them powered as long as you consistently place down rails. Now this design here is built for 1.12. The same concept can be applied to 1.13. Problem is, if you try to use this design at 1.13, the way that lava makes cobblestone in 1.13 is a little bit different, so this part here kind of has to be changed up. I'll make a separate video for the 1.13 version, but pretty much the rail duper would fit in there exactly the same. If you'd like to build up our nifty design for an infinite railway bridge builder, I'll put the world download down in the description. You can check it out there. I won't do a tutorial on it since it's kind of complex, and I'll be showing a 1.13 version soon. You can use this in the overworld as well as in the end dimension. Just make sure you build it tall enough so it doesn't clip onto any of the terrain. You can't build in Nether because it uses water, but if you'd like to take a better look at this, I will provide the world download in the description. On Prototech, we are transporting a lot of our rare mobs through the overworld, and this is because a lot of them are jockeys, and jockeys cannot go through nether portals. So we're using this flying machine to build a very long railway system to transport all our rare Halloween mobs to our zoo, where we collect all the different types of mobs in Minecraft. I would like to thank you for watching, and if you found this video interesting, show me the like and share this with others. I would really appreciate that. If you'd like to see more Slimestone creations, you can always check out my channel and go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button to get notifications of future videos. And if you have any cool ideas that you think that this could be used for, tell me down in the comments. Bye bye!